What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. It is episode number 24 and it is time for the season finale where we're going to wrap up season 3 and see if Ipswich Town can hold on to that Champions League place and wrap up an incredible third year back in the top tier. So 2 games remaining in the season, starting with West Ham away before playing host to Leeds on the final day. But before we do that on the 12th, there's games in hand for a couple of teams below us, including one that I'm really worried about. Now, right now in third place on the back of the win against Southampton, 66 points on the board, can't catch Man City as we know, but we're only 2 clear of West Ham in 5th. They don't have a game in hand. Arsenal do in 4th, but Chelsea, that's the team I'm worried about right now. I don't think Manchester United are going to catch us, even if they've got a game in hand right now, 8 points behind. It's Chelsea who I'm worried about, and they're playing on the 12th. And they've got the team directly below the Manchester United as well. So, Eric, if you can go to Stamford Bridge on that 12th there in midweek and take points off Maresca's side, mate, I'm not going to say it's going to keep you in the job, but I'll be very happy about it indeed. So, Chelsea can cut the gap to 2 with a win with 2 games to go. And let's find out if they do just that. So fingers crossed the Red Devils can do us a massive favour there. Otherwise, we'll probably need to win back-to-back in order to stay in the top 4. Here we go. Oh, well, it was a draw. I'll take it. Manchester United with a draw at Stamford Bridge, 1-1. And I'll take it. Arsenal were also held. Whilst we do drop to 4th, we're only behind them on goal difference. Okay, alright, so there is the favour we were looking for, but West Ham with 64 points, only 2 behind. It's still incredibly tight, and it still means heading into the first game of season, so we'll jump straight into it. First of 2, our final away day, West Ham in London, where a loss sees us drop to 5th in the table. Historically, since the series began, we've been a poor road team, being possibly the biggest away day of the save, where a win will all but guarantee Champions League football. In fact, I think it might actually guarantee it if my maths is correct. What an opportunity. West Ham in the capital with a chance to cement a top 4 place in the penultimate game of the season. Final away day, West Ham. Come on, Ipswich Town. Let's qualify today. You know, at the start of the season, I was questioning how on earth the board could say we're good enough to finish in 5th place. Well, we're in 4th right now with 2 to go, so clearly they knew something I didn't. I completely underestimated my team, man, seriously, because again, we've grown brilliantly as a unit during the season, but also the signings this season I think have been excellent, as Morgan finds a bit of space to let fly and in the end gets underneath it and puts it way off target. But James Garner's been criminally good in this team as a deep line playmaker, and obviously, you know, we've brought in Jake O'Brien from the Toffees as well, Koleosha on the wing. We invested brilliantly in the summer. And again, the team has grown sublimely. So, top 4, you know, when I realised midway through the season we are good enough, just never look back. We stayed in the top 4 ever since we entered it. That's mightily impressive for an inexperienced team. And now the question is, can we see the job out? I'll take a point in this game as well, no doubt, as Kai finds his man, and Muric makes a great save, and Wolfenden is there to get it away for us. And that is a fine. There's gives away. I was going to say, as a pass to no one. Morgan had to come back and win it. But yeah, good save by Muric. I'll take a point here. West Ham go above us or a win. But a point for us keeps them at bay heading to the final day, knowing a win at home to Leeds will give us the Champions League. Great save by Muric. Still 0-0 for now. As Washington is denied by Chevalier. And we're still deadlocked. Both teams know what a win would mean. Both teams also know what a loss would mean. Morgan's delivery, headed away. It's still a nervy 0-0 right now. That's a cracking ball over the top now. Muric made his mind up early. And rightfully so. Can we get one chance before the break? If we push the pace, we'll have one more chance. One more chance. Shot clock off. One more chance. One more chance. Washington! Oh, what a moment that would have been. Final kick and a half, just going to get a goal bound. Good end to the first half though, and now the question is for the second, stick or twist? Yeah, these are often the moments in football where top level managers, they really make their bread, you know, making the big decisions here. And high pressure moments, so much at stake. When you think about the difference between Champions League and Europa League, I mean listen, I love the Europa League, it's a class competition, but there's a big difference between the Champions League and Europa League. Let's just be honest here. Great interplay. Delap! Oh, what a goal that would have been. I say go for it. I say go for it, man. Let's go for that win. Let's go for the qualification today. Lucas Paqueta into Miguel Gutierrez, and the Spaniard dispossessed by... Oh, James Garner is... Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Who else but the President to lead us into the Champions League? The top scorer. The President. Ipswich's hero, David Washington, with a goal that could potentially send the Tractor Boys into the big time. Final chance cut out, and I think that he's going to do it. And you know the old saying, fortune favours the brave. Ipswich were. A point would have meant on the final day. Destiny's in our own hands. But hey, we had destiny in our own hands heading into the game anyway. Through a win, which we'll get and wrap up through you-know-who, the President. Ipswich Town, start celebrating. We're going to the Champions League. You know I love my quotes and sayings, and here's another one for you. Why put off until tomorrow what you can do today? Yeah, you could have waited until the final day against Leeds. We've got a point here. Beat the lads at Portman Road, and that qualifies us. But we also could have done it today with a win, and that's what we got. The President leading us there. Ipswich Town defying the odds all season long and putting the icing on the cake. Champions League, here we come. You know, I must say, like, one thing I'm not a fan of this year is how the post-match interviews, you might notice this, like, the questions and the answers this year, they're a bit strange. Now, don't get me wrong, they've always been a bit strange, but instead of saying, you know, what a season, historic, Ipswich going to Champions League, you've only been in the Premier League 3 years, this is, you know, remarkable achievement, they're going to say, oh, James Garner was great today, judging by the 15 dribbles he was able to successfully complete. I mean, there's bigger things at hand. Now, don't get me wrong, he had a great game out there, and obviously, you know, I've been saying this guy's been one of our most underrated players this season, but, you're not gonna ask me a single question on the historic achievement we've just done? No, like, I don't. It's strange, really strange. But yep, it is over. Regardless of what Chelsea do now, we have qualified for the Champions League. Oh my goodness gracious me! I have to say, it feels more like 1 or 2 seasons too early, but hey, better early than never, I guess. Absolutely buzzing, mate. Oh wow, and just before we dive into the final game today, I've got 4 youth player on sale emails even. You might notice I'll be getting manager offers, international manager offers, as Oscar Barnard wants a deal, and never a good sign when I can't see him. There he is, 84 to 90 potential. Do you know what? We've got Nicholas Price. I don't want to just have a load of youth players that I can't keep track of. But I've been getting a lot of international management offers. I've been he actually looks quite good, to be fair, Declan Fry. I've been just keeping that on to see how many new nations there are. I don't think there's any though, which is a real shame, isn't it? Because for all the where's Fry? That's Jackson. For all the sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, for all the new nations you can scout, the fact that I can't find any new nations to manage, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Like, you got so many. Where's the other Georgian lad? Oh, we put him in the pro team, didn't we? For all the great new nations to scout, why you can't manage new ones? That's such a shame. Sorry, that was a real ham-fisted dialogue, wasn't it? But it's true, man. Like, we've got so many youth players, and obviously a few have made the pro team during the season after requesting deals. But you might have been seeing me reject some players there and go, Doxy, what are you doing? So many of them have really good potential, but it's like, come on, I've already got several players right now, and to keep track of them all can be so hard at times. But also as well, you know, when you do have like so many as well, I feel like at times when you get so many so quickly, I don't know, man. I've always been someone who thinks that can kind of take away from not just the realism in a game, but also the kind of feel to it, you know. You don't want to get all your youth players in your first 2 seasons, you know, because otherwise, what's the point in scouting season 3, season 4, season 5, and so on. Anyway, let's jump into it then. Final game of the season. It is Leeds United heading into this one. Wow, there's nothing at stake for us now, but there is for them. They're only above the bottom 3 on goal difference against Southampton, who play host to Spurs, and only 1 clear of Crystal Palace. And even Bournemouth could survive on the final day. A rare season where all 3 teams who are in the bottom 3 could still stay up. Not all together, but even so, almost all of them together, but even so, lots at stake for Leeds United, nothing at stake for us. But I guess the only question we've got is, are we going to finish 4th, 3rd, or an incredible 2nd place runners-up to Man City? Well, let's find out. Yeah, our final game, Leeds at Portman Road, in a celebration afternoon, knowing that next season, this ground is going to host some Champions League games. Leeds today, maybe next season, Real Madrid, who knows? Yeah, final game of the season, Leeds at home, going to switch down. Yeah, there is this thing about going too quickly. In fact, I even discussed it during the season. It can be to your detriment, you know. I told the anecdote of when I was younger and I broke my arm trying to jump across a climbing frame because I wasn't strong enough to actually climb across it. As Cameron Humphreys managed to get a shot away and is denied by Melier from a tight angle. Oh, Bay almost squeezed it in as he clips the post. But do you know what? If you don't test yourself against the best, you'd never know how good you're going to become and whether you're capable of doing it anyway. So do you know what? Bring it on. Bring it on. Let's find out. We're going to find out regardless. So let's just go find out now. I often say as well, final home game of the season, if there's nothing to play for, really, it's often a chance for me to play players who may not be here next season. Ben Johnson, sporadic game time after his injuries. I'm going to keep Wolfenden for sure because I'll need him, homegrown player, but Doucouré, not sure he'll be returning. Bay on the wing as well. And there is no Washington too. A bit tired for this game here on the back of the man of the match brace against West Ham. And he's got no chance of winning the Golden Boot, 5 off, so I don't mind resting him for this one as Cameron Humphreys is almost, possibly bowing out of a goal. Melier with a save, still goalless for now. So just got an injury right towards the end of that first half, and that is Wolfenden as well. And again, speaking of homegrown players, well, he is one, so he will be staying for the new season because I'm going to need him as well. And this is a rule I always implement into my saves now, and I highly recommend you guys do it as well. In real football, when a team qualifies for the Champions League or the Europa League, and I'm pretty sure the Conference League do it as well, they need 4 players that were homegrown and trained by that club between the ages of 15 and 21 for 3 years. You need 4 homegrown, trained at the club players. Now, the game doesn't have that rule. You don't need to if you don't want to, but I think it's a great way to make the game more challenging, a little rule to make it a little bit more difficult, but also realistic, immersive, and in my opinion, really fun as well, as James Garner couldn't get away. We've got 3 right now. Wolfenden, Flynn Downs, and again, I believe, Cameron Humphreys. So in the summer, we'll need to find 1 more. Aronson to Teisterlinger. Shot comes in. Oh, clips the post, and then the rebound is turned in for a goal that might keep Leeds in the league. A rebound converted from close range. And on the final day where we've been so much better at home all season long, how ironic is that? We bust out a win in our final away day to qualify for the Champions League, lose the home game. How typical is that? Still, in the grand scheme of things, it did not matter. And as you see, the final league table would have done it again, and they'd done it heading into the final day as well. I believe it is now 9 of the past 10 seasons, combining this save and real life as well. Dread it, run from it. Manchester City arrive as Premier League champions once again for the 3rd straight in the save. And again, I believe 9th in 10 years. The only teams who have broken them up, of course, Liverpool back in that 2020 season. They were in 3rd place this season with Arsenal in 2nd and are still having that 4th place despite the loss on the final day due to our win at West Ham, who they themselves finished in 5th. Chelsea 6th, Manchester United 7th, Newcastle United 8th, and the top 10 wrapped up by Spurs and Aston Villa. 45 goals on the board, lowest scorers in the top 10, but again, it's progress. Remember in the first season we only scored 21, we scored more than double that 2 years later. It's progress, man. You've got to celebrate every small bit of progress. And in the end, on a chaotic final day for Premier League safety, Southampton pulled it out of the bag on the final day with a point against Spurs. Forest are down in their place after a 3-2 loss at home to Manchester United, alongside Bournemouth and Crystal Palace as well. Interesting choice for player of the season. Kai Havertz at West Ham after their 5th place finish. For the Golden Boot, though, Kolo Muani wins it by playing 2 games fewer than Luis Diaz now at Brentford. Haaland in 3rd, Gakpo in 4th, and Saka in 5th, all with 21 goals apiece. Havertz, to be fair, was in the top 7, and Washington did make the top 12 as well with 17 in 32 games, but still a few goals off the top scorer, with Delap also in the top 25 with 11 in 35, and he was also 3rd in assists as well. Saka and Xerxes tied with 10 apiece. Delap only the one behind with 9 as well. Gibbs White almost in the top 10 as well with 7, so that was nice to see. Koleosho had 7 himself as well, so a few Ipswich boys in the assist titles. But of course, for the Golden Glove, 3rd straight year, Muric, once again, 19 and 38, averaging 1 in 2. We just about kept hold of him for this season with Al Nassr's bid by giving him a contract extension and a pay increase. Will we keep him for the new season as well? Or after 3 straight Golden Gloves, will he surely be going to a much bigger club? As for the other competitions, well, this is an interesting one. Carabao Cup saw our East Anglian rivals Norwich go all the way to win it. They're going into the Europa League as a championship side with a 4-2 win at Wembley. History! Yeah, what a season for the region of East Anglia, man. Ipswich qualifying for the Champions League and Norwich qualifying for the Europa League. Oh my goodness. And winning a Carabao Cup as well, fair play. In the end, the FA Cup winners were the team that knocked out in the 3rd round. That was Chelsea. Always say, no shame in getting beaten by the team that went all the way to win it. And as for the European competitions, winning the Conference League, Kilmarnock made the quarter-finals before being knocked out. It was a Ferencvárosi and Nice final where the French side ran out winners by 4 goals to 1, to win the Europa Conference League this year. What do you guys think about the media kind of like news articles now? I'm not a fan, I must say. I prefer the old style when there was a little animation at times, you know. But anyway, as to the Europa League, it was a Wolfsburg-Ajax final, and this year the Dutch side won on penalties to win the Europa League after overcoming Wolfsburg on the spot kicks. And as for the Champions League, make room for the Tractor Boys, because we're putting up to it next season, man. Showing you the full league phase here with the 8 games that were played. God, this is going to take some getting used to for this season, I must say. But anyway, going forward with the playoffs, I don't know why it's got the Europa League kind of colour scheme there, but even so, into the last 16, and then going through to the quarters, and then going through to the semis. It was a Milan versus Bayer Leverkusen final, and the German side ran out with. I'm pretty sure they've already won one in the save, haven't they? I think they have. But even so, Leverkusen winning it this year. And Xabi Alonso, man, he's just continuing to cook at the Bayer Arena. And as we take a look at the other leagues, you know I'm so pleased to see this straight away. Yep, they might be our rivals, but they're coming to the Premier League. What a season for Norwich, man. League Cup winners and promotion winners too, in 2nd alongside Burnley. I can't wait. We'll have our first East Anglian derbies of the save so far. Preston, Sunderland, Luton and Bristol City are in the playoffs. Everton finished in 9th place, so not an instant return for Sean Dyche's Toffees in the Championship this year. Plymouth and Peterborough up in League One, with the playoffs being Oxford, Reading, Barnsley and Huddersfield Town in English football's 3rd tier. And as for League 2, the O's, Shrewsbury Town and MK Dons, the top 3, with the playoffs being Crawley, Crewe, Grimsby and Walsall. And this year's bottom place team in the top 4 tiers, Cheltenham Town. No shocks in France, PSG winning Ligue 1 by 21 points, only 1 loss all season long to win the French top tier. As for the Bundesliga this season, when I can get to it, there we go. Bayern Munich, yep, Harry Kane's curse is over, champions again, 11 clear of the Champions League winners Leverkusen. Dortmund 3rd and Frankfurt finishing in 4th place in Germany's top tier this season. As for the Serie A, AC Milan champions, 2 clear of Juve, Roma in 3rd, and the team that we could have joined, don't forget they gave us the manager offer. I said no, I gotta get Ipswich to the Champions League. Well, we'll be meeting that team in the Champions League next season, possibly. Inter Milan, who finished in 4th place this season. PSV champions of the Eredivisie, 6 clear of final. Sparta Rotterdam, what a throwback, in 3rd place. Ajax falling to 4th. Despite winning the Europa League this season. As for the Liga Portugal, Porto, Cima, 5 clear of Sporting Lisbon and Benfica in 3rd. Does that work? Can I say that? Porto, Cima. They're on top. But yeah, Porto champions, regardless of the Liga Portugal. Starting my Duolingo again on Portuguese. It's not going great, as you can tell. Wow, look at that in the Scottish Premier League. It's the end of the first phase, but I always say you can't check the second phase. But Celtic champions, sure. But Rangers dropping to fourth. I mean, that might be the first time I've seen one of the old firm not even finish third. Sometimes you get a rarity where Aberdeen or Hearts will finish in second, but this year they finished second and third, and Rangers finished fourth. I think that's the lowest I've seen when the old firm finish. And as for La Liga, Real Madrid, 14 clear of Barcelona to win the Spanish top tier, Atletico third, and Villarreal fourth this year. And of course, we always end with the final two, the Turkish Super League and the MLS as well, where Fenerbahce were champions as Mourinho gets the Turkish Super League to add to his collection. 6 clear of Galatasaray to be the Turkish Super League champions this year. And as for the MLS itself, I better do the Saudi Pro League as well. I was going to say, for a second, I was like, who is New Jersey / New York Gotham? It's the women's MLS. My apologies. But for the men's MLS, Columbus Crew have jumped out to the lead, 2 clear of New England this season with Inter Miami in 18th place. And as for the Saudi Pro League, because again, Ronaldo and Messi are still going at this point right now. As for the Saudi Pro League, man, Ronaldo just can't get it done at Al Nassr for domestic championships. Al Hilal 4 clear of Al Ittihad to win the Saudi Pro League this season. Are they retiring at the end of the year? Are they going to be retiring at the end of this season? I know they saw out season 3, but are they going to go for season 4? Cristiano Ronaldo? Yep, Ronaldo is going to hang him up at the end of this year. I have to say, I've said this before, I get asked all the time, Messi or Ronaldo, Docs, who do you prefer? Genuinely, I can't split them. And when even just one of them retires, I'm going to cry. When they both decide to retire, I'll shed a lot of tears. Messi's got another year in the tank though. And so, as we take one final look at the squad for the end of season 3, I have to say, once again, I don't know why at the start of the season I was like, oh, there's no way we can qualify for the Europa League. This is a really good team. I mean, this is such a solid team, honestly. And again, the signings we made are fantastic. James Garner was really, really solid through the middle of the park. Luka Warwick Koleosho, again, was in the top 20 for assists on the left-hand side. Jake O'Brien, part of our fantastic back line, was brilliant as well at CB2. I don't know why I was so down on the prospect of us finishing in a Europa League spot. In the end, we went all the way to finish in a Champions League place. This is a really good team. This is a really, really good team. And it just got better during the season as well. But for the new season, I'd say no doubt about it. Heading into the new campaign, I think I could do with another new winger, no doubt about it. Koleosho came in and again was great in terms of creating and getting assists as well. But I think definitely another threat on the wing could really help us in terms of getting those goals. Obviously, Jack was done for the season early with the ACL. That was a bit of a shame. But I think for me, yeah, a new winger is probably where I'm going to be looking in the summer transfer window. And probably a little bit more quality and depth as well going into the Champions League. We're a 4.5-star team. We're growing really nicely. And again, the big question is, can we keep the stars here? Can we keep Muric once again after 3 straight Golden Gloves? Hines going back to Arsenal after his loan spell probably won't be returning, so we will need a backup goalkeeper for sure. But yeah, can we keep the stars here? Mumba was once again solid. He's been a great little pickup since season 1, man. He's one of those players, like, we don't play him that often. When we do play, he plays really well. But Davis for sure, man, the club captain, leading us to the Champions League, plays every single game. He's going nowhere, no doubt about that. And look at his stats now, man. Yeah, you know I'm a massive fan of this guy in real life. I'm just as big of a fan in the game as well. He's fantastic. Wolford will be staying, of course, because he is homegrown. Again, we're going to need one more homegrown player to come in. To be honest, I can't even think of who we could sign right now. It's which don't have a fantastic recent record of youth academy grads. But will Jacob Rees be staying? Had a big injury midway through the season. I guess we will see. Jake O'Brien, I'd really like to keep hold of as well, as he had a great first year in with us this season. Ben Johnson, not sure he'll be returning. Harry Clark obviously re-signed him on a free. Nathan Patterson, he came in, it was alright to be fair, as an RCB. It's a shame I wasn't able to convert him there, but I guess we'll see whether he stays longer than just these 6 months. Christiansen, I think I might have to give him a new contract, because this guy continues to get better and better and better. What a signing. Don't forget, he came in as a left back. We converted him to a right back with a 5-star weak foot. I love the work work ethic. On 30 grand a week, it's still a great amount of money, but in modern day football, maybe he could do with a pay increase. Not happy about the contract. In order to keep him, might need to give him a new deal. Flynn Downs, of course, signed in January. He's definitely staying, of course, as a homegrown player as well. I'm not sure if Decore will be returning. Humphreys will have to return as one of those rare homegrown players. And as for Jack Clark, what a shame, man. He got off to a great start this season and then was done with the ACL. Man, he was like the big legend in my Bournemouth and Liverpool career mode last year. I don't know whether he'll be staying in the summer. I said we're going to need a new winger. I think now we play Mumba there. We've got Hutchinson, Koleosho. Bay's decent when he comes in as well. And with the injuries that Clark's had since the start of the save, I might just have to sell in the summer. I guess we'll see. But yeah, Koleosho, solid first season for us. 2 goals and 7 assists in 32 games. Bay didn't get me a goal or an assist. That's bizarre. But to be fair, most of his minutes came off the bench in late game situations. But yeah, for the new season, James Garner, my most underrated player this season, by the way. 1 goal and 2 assists. You might think, yeah, that's not a lot. But if it's a DLP, this guy literally never misplaced a pass, man. He was phenomenal at ball retention through the middle of the park. For the new season, yeah, we will need some more quality. There's no doubt about it. We're going to need some more quality for the new season if we are to compete against the best in the Champions League, and crucially as well, stay in the Champions League. You know, it's one thing to qualify for it, it's another thing to stay there as well. If we're going to do that, we need to keep hold of our stars, such as Gibbs White, 1 goal and 7 assists this season in the league as well. We need to add to the quality we've got and keep hold of the best we've got as well. That is going to be our priority in the summer window. 2 goals and 4 assists for Amari as well. He's still getting better as well on that right-hand side, whether he starts next season or comes off the bench. Definitely keeping him if I can. I still really like him. Moses Hassan is, of course, back in January, but I might even recall him for the new season because he's grown brilliantly at Sheffield United. You know, 76 overall now, just 19 years old. With the pace he's got as well, if we do end up selling Jack Clark, this guy could come in and do a really, really decent job for us, man. I really love his physical stats, and technically he's getting better and better and better. And again, another proof in the pudding right there that loaning your players out is infinitely better than playing them. But as for Liam Delap, 11 goals, but the 9 assists in 35. How often did you hear me say it during the season? Is he our main source of goals now? No, that's the president. But Liam Delap is assisting most of Washington's goals. As a strike partner, if one gets the goal, the other normally gets the assist. That's just how the bros work up top. So Liam definitely going nowhere. But David, once again, player of the season, 17 in 32, averaging over 1 in 2, plus chipping in with 4 assists is nice as well. And of course, Streets won't forget the brace at the London Stadium that sent us into the Champions League. The president delivering in our biggest away day of the save. You love to see that. That was absolute scenes, mate. Loved it. And as for Price, the wonder kid, I don't know what to do. I'll let you know about his potential in the new season. But with another injury, 2 for this season, still at 56 overall, now history maker as the youngest Premier League goal scorer of all time, 4 goals in 11 games, plus 2 assists as well, but probably due a potential downgrade. I can't loan him out. I can't get his rating up. I really don't know what to do. But that will do it for today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So big thank you for the finale. If you've enjoyed it, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. Say it with me. Ipswich Town, a Champions League, and we'll be heading into it for the new season, where we'll return in the next episode with the summer transfer window. We'll see our budget, and we'll look to make some investment and try and take our Ipswich team, their town team, to the next level, heading to prime time. Have a fantastic day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of brand new seasons. Our 4th year at Portman Road gets underway with Ipswich Town goes to Champions League very soon.